one day in late August of 2019, I got introduced to a mindset teacher, and his name was Bob Proctor from the movie The Secret. Meeting that man and being introduced to his light and his information changed my entire world. I built a successful 7-figure business in just 7 months. I created a persona, a version of myself who was a millionaire. And I believed wholeheartedly after a few months of self-concept and identity work that I could become the millionaire version of myself. I did $18 million in revenue in under 2 years. Has this last 5 years been all rainbows and sunshine? No, it has not. 2022 was the hardest year of my life since being in this work. I experienced a separation of my marriage, a deterioration of my team, and an emergency lung surgery from all the repressed grief that I didn't allow myself to feel in those moments. But what I can tell you about this contrast, about that year in my life, is that it has prepared me for the woman that is sitting here in front of you today. I've received multiple awards and accolades and trips and accomplishments, but these are not the things that make me so fulfilled. These are not the things that make me so happy. Those things that actually bring me true peace, true love, true joy into my life are the connections that I have with myself and with others, my ability to serve people through this work, and to step into the real version of me that lies within. We have people who have made millions and millions of dollars. We have people who have quantum leaped their life, who have manifested awards and accolades and #1 best-selling books. We have people that are making a significant difference in this world because they're choosing to become an elevated version of them. The biggest thing that I can tell you right now, and the biggest learning from this journey, is please do not underestimate yourself. Please dream bigger and choose grander. And I want to say thank you for joining me, for choosing you, and for allowing me to be the vessel that guides you towards the light that you are being drawn to in this moment. Only love and gratitude, Kathleen. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from all places of the world. We tend to have people from everywhere, all around the world. So wherever you are coming in from, please let us know in the chat. The Netherlands, look at this. Someone coming in from Sweden, Texas, Saskatchewan. Oh, Saskatchewan. That's not too far. Okay, Washington, D.C. Oh my gosh, welcome everybody. Nova Scotia, Sylvia, I'm so happy to see you. So good to see your face. Okay, I have so much to talk about. This has been a week of self-reflection. When we decided to do this event, 1 million, it actually was very much driven and derived by my 2020 year and everything that had transpired in that year. That was the year of my first big quantum leap in my life, going from being a registered nurse to quitting my nursing career and then launching my own business and doing $1 million in revenue in 7 months in my first year. And then finishing off that year, 3 million in revenue. So from a nurse who knew nothing about business, who knew not too much about sales. I had been selling in my network marketing business, but not at a high level. And a woman who'd never ran her own business or had her own company before. I never took a business course. And I did $3.3 million in revenue in my first year. And what I will also say is, of that 3.3 million, it was a very, very high profit. So this wasn't a business where I was putting up 2 million to make $1 million. It was 3 million and very little expenses and a $50,000 investment going in. So I will say that. But so when I was thinking about this live event and what I wanted to share, I really, really wanted to give to all of you my embodiment. So what was it that I thought? What was it that I felt? What are the actions that I took? And what were the ways that allowed me to quantum leap my life? And so it was a very conscious and intentional rise in consciousness And it was a very intentional move from one frequency of vibration to another one, okay? And it wasn't just a small jump or one level up, it was several levels up. And so today and tomorrow, I want to get into a little bit more of the nitty gritty of what I did, how I thought, what are some of the actions I took, so that you guys can actually have practical steps on how to do this for yourself and how to quantum leap your life. So I'm going to share a lot of personal stories this time. I have a little bit of a surprise little video that the team threw together for me last night to give you a visual of that time in my life. So I have been going down memory lane, and it has been such a beautiful, beautiful few days going down memory lane and just seeing what happened in that year. And so much more has happened since, and so many even wilder manifestations have come. So I'll share some of that too, but I really want to focus upon that first year and what I did, and just what of this work I embodied and how you guys can do it too, because I sit here today living a very, very different life. And the experience of life for myself now it's a night and day. It almost feels like I'm a different person. It almost feels like a new lifetime, a new lifeline, or a different timeline that I'm on. Like it doesn't even feel like the same life. So I really want to be able to show you that whatever experience you're in today, it can change and shift very, very quickly. And you can get to this place where I'm at today, where life is so good, it makes me want to cry. And I get to do whatever I want in the moment that I want to do it, and go wherever I want and be with whoever I want and experience life in such a beautiful way. And that's just what I want for all of you. I really, really want all of you to experience this. We also have a beautiful interview today. We are going to have Cindy. She is a member of my inner circle. She has also taken, I believe, the Millionaire Program or the Modern Mentor, maybe both, I don't know. We'll ask her. And she's a member of my inner circle, and she just hit a phenomenal milestone in her business. She took both. Fabulous. She's also coming to Costa Rica to the Rise Retreat in 2 weeks. But Cindy hit an incredible milestone in her business, and it is so inspiring. Her and her team have done $100 million this year in business using and applying this work. And it's been, I think, more than a double in her revenue. So we want to share real life stories of people who are embodying this work, and not through hustle and grind. She's not stressed out, burned out. She's not looking for a vacation. She is calm and poised and empowered, and it's really beautiful. You'll meet her today, and you're all going to fall in love with her. So that'll be around 11 o'clock. So we are going to be here today from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and again tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Today, I'm primarily going to talk about my journey, my story, share the video with you, interview Cindy, and then I'm going to talk about the difference between being high vibration and operating on a new frequency of vibration related to wealth and identity. So this is really about your rich identity, your wealthy identity, your prosperous identity, and how you can embody that and take that on. So I'm going to talk about what I did, how I created it, what I thought of myself, why I thought that way, how it was intentional. And I'm going to show you a little visual of the difference between high vibes and frequency, so we can see the difference. And then tomorrow we will go into the action piece. So once we have created in ourselves a state of being related to that millionaire identity, that feeling of $1 million, like when we say, I feel like $1 million, what are we saying? We're talking about frequency. And so I'm going to go into depth about that. And then tomorrow we'll talk about the action that I took. Your mind is going to want to know how, and it's going to want me to tell you the how first, but it was not about the how for me. It was all about the underlying identity, the underlying frequency, the feeling. And then I moved in that feeling. I walked in that feeling and in that vibration. So I really want to share that with you. That's what we're going to do for the next 2 days. We also, of course, have, I wanted to do something as I'm sitting here and thinking about what was the catalyst or the thing that really allowed me to step into this millionaire identity and to feel safe doing so. It was the program that I took in 2019. It was the personal growth and development work that I took that did it. And so I have a roadmap and a blueprint for all of you to be able to do this. And so tomorrow I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. We're going to open enrollment, and it is what I'm going to invite you to is absolutely phenomenal. It's probably the best thing that I've ever created, the best pricing that I've ever done, and it'll only be for a week. So I want to give you an opportunity, if you feel called to embody at a higher level and do like I did, we're going to have an opportunity for you to do that tomorrow. So we'll talk to you about that tomorrow. But my goal is to help you to get your first million in as short a time as possible with the greatest ease and flow and effortlessness that ever was. So that is what I want to do for you. Okay. It's not, you don't need 50,000 to invest. Don't worry. No, my course is not 50,000. I do have one that is, but the one I'm going to talk to you about is not 50,000. Did you add flowers to your tattoo? No, this tattoo, I think it's just more visible today. I got this tattoo actually in 2018, I believe, and I never actually got it filled in, but I love it, just the outline. So maybe one day we'll fill it in, but I did get a couple of new tattoos that I'll share on my stories soon, because I know a lot of you have been asking me. It's just my way of being individual, unique, being myself and expressing myself. And I feel like it's art, and I love to put beautiful art on my body. I actually got a set of wings tattooed on myself because one of the most powerful DMs that I ever got was from a woman who said that I gave her wings. And I didn't give her wings. I just reminded her she had them. But I just thought that was so special and so beautiful. So that's why I got a pair of wings on myself. Yeah, so special. Anyways, the other thing that I want to remind you all of is I have a beautiful team behind me, supporting me, lifting me up, raising me up, and they are an extension of me. My team will be reaching out to you to offer you guidance, to offer you support, to be able to help you in that pathway towards that millionaire version of yourself. So they're going to hold you to that identity. They're not going to talk to you from your limitations. They're going to talk to you from possibility. And that is one of the greatest tools that I have ever had in my life, was to have someone who spoke to me from possibility and not from limitation. And so it was empowering. It got me outside of the box, and it's incredible. Memory Lane from Earnscliffe. Oh my gosh, somebody is on here from Earnscliffe. That's the school that I went to. Oh, you got to tell me. It says iPhone. You have to tell me who you are. Tara? Tara, what's your last name? Please put it in the chat. If you feel comfortable. If not, just send me a DM. But I would just love to know. Oh yes, we've been chatting in the DMs. Tara Patterson. Fantastic. So, okay. So my team is going to email you. They might text you. If you haven't received your emails, they might be lost in cyberspace or in your junk mail. So just mark our emails as safe, because after today, you will get an email that has the replays. It has a link for you to get in touch with my team if you need to. And it also will have the playlist. I know you all love Jen's playlist. She was rocking it this morning. So that's all in one place for you. Easy to find. It's literally a link to a landing page, and then you can't miss it. So if you miss anything I say today and you want to go back and watch it, it'll all be there. Okay, so mark your emails as safe. Can my team just quickly raise your hands? I also just want to show you my team, because my team is, they will all have Diamond Academy emails. They are the most loving, supportive, beautiful individuals that you will ever find. We are a combination of different genders and races from all over the world, speak multiple languages, and we all are here for this one. We are unified in this one mission in helping you guys to step into your best. So this is my beautiful team. If anybody else is emailing you or messaging you and it's not from a Diamond Academy email, please just disregard. And you can always come and check and see who is on this. And this is my team. So they will message you. Don't be afraid of them. They are phenomenal, amazing, incredible, and they are here to love you and support you in the journey. So thank you, team. Love you all so much. Okay, let's talk about, oh, wait, no, I want to do our prayer. We cannot continue on without our prayer. Okay. So here we go. Please put your hand on your chest, on your heart, if you feel called to. Close your eyes, keep them open. It does not matter. Thank you, God. Thank you for this live event and for this life and for the wonder of this moment. Thank you for everything that has ever happened to me, is happening now, and ever will happen. For all of it has produced the perfection of this next breath and the glory of the millionaire version of myself that I am now going to be. Amen. You ready? Okay. That is a beautiful prayer from Neil Donald Walsh. So one of my favorites. So let's talk about 2020. I think this is a powerful place in my life where the first leap in consciousness occurred, that first rise in consciousness. And so when I first got introduced to this work, it was in a mindset course, okay? And so it was all about how can I make my mindset, the setting of my mind, be the most empowered version it can be so that I can be my best and perform my best and, make myself the most amount of money or make my business grow the best that I can or whatever else. But over the course of the journey, I started to realize that it was far more than mindset. And it was far more than just the beliefs alone in the subconscious mind, that there was a whole process of life that was occurring that had so much more magic to it than I ever thought. So if I had have stayed thinking from the idea of mindset and how can I set my mind, I think I still would have been limited and I wouldn't have seen the leaps that I've seen in my life, right? And so in 2019, I was a woman who, yes, I was very driven, very motivated. I was a hard worker. So you would never sit there and say like, oh, Kathleen never gets a job done or she puts things off. No. I was somebody that very much engrossed myself in my work. And what I've since realized, and many of you might resonate, and let me know in the chat if you do, much of my worth and value was driven by my productivity. So the more I did, the harder I worked, the more I took on, the more I felt good, the more I felt worthy, the more I felt productive. And it was almost like if I just spend more time doing these things, then I'll finally measure up. I'll finally be worthy. So I was in this feeling like, okay, I can't possibly sit here and just watch a TV show or watch a movie. I can't just go to the park and watch my kids. I'm going to do something while I do that. And so I was always doing something that felt productive, booked and busy, right? And so that made me feel good. It calmed my nervous system. So can you imagine what it would be like for me to just like go to the spa and not work? No way. And I remember being a nurse, and I was a nurse director actually in healthcare. So I had a very high level job and I really, really wanted to do good and I wanted to make people proud and I wanted to really like prove myself to the world. And so like I would work all day and I would come home, make dinner, we'd put the kids to bed, laptop out, checking my emails, working on stuff. And that made me feel so good. And back then I would have said like, I love to work. I would have told you that I was a workaholic. That work makes me happy. But what I've since realized now that I've remembered who I am and I've remembered the whole purpose of life, I now realize that made me feel whole, that made me feel worthy, and that filled a void that within me existed. And so now that I have filled that void in myself, I love to go sit in a spa and not be on my phone and not check my email. And I love to live life and have fun and go on adventures and be present with my kids and be present with my family. And so I've now realized that my worth and my value is not tied to how hard I work or how productive I am, that my worth and my value is tied to what I believe it is, right? And even with this work now and the desire that I have to help people and I really do feel very called to change the world, right? And so is my value and worth dependent upon how much I change the world through this work? No, my worth and value is here. It's what I see. It's what I believe. All the love that I hold, all of the kindness that's within me, all the possibility, that's what makes me worthy. That's what makes me whole. And so I'm telling you this because in order for me to quantum leap my life into millions, I had to feel whole. I had to feel love. I had to feel purpose within myself. I couldn't be seeking it. So if you are seeking the millions to fill a void, we're starting in lack and limitation. We're starting in emptiness. We're starting in the feeling that we don't have it all and we need something. And so you're going to be behind. So for me, the coming to terms with who I am and loving who I am and fully embracing it and being proud of it and all of that, that is the thing that allowed me to call more in, because I'm going to this vibration up here that says, I'm important, I'm special, I'm worthy, I'm incredible, I'm amazing, I have what it takes, I am what it takes. And so that energy immediately boosts you up. And so self-love is important, it's incredible, it's powerful. But I want you to just notice, right, where you're putting your time and why do you think that is? I also was a people pleaser. So I would be happy if you were happy, right? So that means if you're not happy, I'm not happy. So this is where other people's vibration and energy and other people's feelings of me and other people's opinions of me really mattered. And so I felt good when you felt good about me. Again, that is coming from a lack, right? That is coming from the belief that I'm less than, that you're going to fill me up. So I became my own internal source of support. And I've had to come to terms with and be okay with the fact that not everybody's going to like me. And I'm not going to make everybody happy. And that's okay. I'm not for everyone. And in this work with who I've now become in this life that I live, it's very triggering for people, right? I become a reflection for people to see what within them is the wounding or the healing needed or the potential for growth. And so for people who can't believe in what I do, they don't believe in what they can do. And that I'm just a reflection of that. So I can trigger people. People can get quite mad at me, but I am okay with that because I'm living my authentic truth. And I know that they will eventually come around and see in themselves what they require to see in themselves to raise their life to what they desire. But in 2020, I launched my coaching business in January and a whole slew of events came. So I am just going to post a video, get Jen to play a video. So I'll give her a minute to get it going. And hopefully this music doesn't get muted on the YouTube channel. But over the course of those 7 months, so I just kept the video to about 7-8 months of that first year, you will see there was things like manifesting my first new car, which was a Range Rover. I did that very intentionally through this work. Going into Rodeo Drive and getting my first Louis Vuitton is in here. But the biggest thing you'll see at the end is manifesting this beautiful house that I'm in right now, this office that I'm sitting in. We moved in 5 years ago on October 31st. So to play this, I'm going to cry already, to play this video while, at our 5-year anniversary of this house is really, really special. So Jen, if you are ready, let's play this. And then we'll talk about it after. I'll talk a little bit about it after. Do you need a minute, Jen, or you're good? I think she's good. Let's see. I'm just checking to see if she's messaging me. Okay, we're good. I thought that was such a beautiful ending with my girlies rolling around in their new movie theater. Like how incredible to be able to give the girls that. And and it's not average and normal. None of their other friends have this. And they talk about it. They talk about our life and how different it is. But I think I'm teaching these beautiful girls of mine how to go after their dreams, that anything is possible and that they can literally experience whatever they want in life. And so, yeah, that was a lot of my own personal videos, a lot of my own memories that I wanted to share with you guys today. And you can even see the difference in the way my appearance is. And I'm not talking about like size or weight or anything, but I'm talking about the energy behind my eyes. You can actually see like the calmness and the peace in me now, and I've let this beautiful power that was always within me be the truth now, right? And so there are truth seekers and there are truth walkers. This is something that someone said to me yesterday. And my vision and my call to good and what I'm meant to be doing here is to collect truth walkers. So take those truth seekers and turn them into truth walkers. And so that's what I'm here to do, is to show you your truth, not the truth, there isn't one truth, but your truth, and help you to live that truth. And so for me, this life I'm living today is the truth. It's the truth of who I am. And it's so powerful because I was keeping myself from it for so many years by believing in what everyone else believed in, by believing in the status quo, by believing that it had to be hard, that I had to be in my masculine, that I had to be stressed and overwhelmed and all that kind of stuff. And so today now, I sit here just living in beautiful peace and joy and love. And it's a powerful place to be, and I want you all to do it. And yes, money is an important part of it, right? It's not everything. And so if you think that money is going to fix everything, it will not, right? And so that video there that we showed you, that was all of us moving into this house as a family, right? And since then, we are not the same type of family that we once were, right? We don't all live here anymore, and we don't all live here full time, right? We live half the time in another house. The girls live half the time in another house. We also do have a Malibu home that I live in now too. But Chris and I's relationship has changed since that time. We were married at that time, living together, and now we are business owners, business partners, co-parents, and dear, dear friends. And so now each of us is living our truth and living our lives the way that we truly want to and wanted to the entire time. And people ask me, well, couldn't you just manifest that you would stay together? But what we realized through this work is that we are both operating from two different truths, right? We both want different things out of our lives. I want a big, extraordinary life, and I want to dive into this, and I want adventure and fun, and I want to be in the warmth and all these things. And Chris has a different view for his life. And so now Chris gets to live his life the way he wants, and I get to live mine the way I want. And we're still doing it alongside each other. So there was contrast, and there was what some would say would be disintegration or separation, but that didn't occur at all. And so now we've manifested a new experience and a new life for ourselves and for our family. And it's really, really special. So, but there's going to be things that are going to happen. There's going to be things that are going to tell you that it's not happening, that it's taking too long, that it's not coming together. You're going to feel like you're going backwards, but I want to remind you of where you are going. And so I literally showed you a video of a woman, that first video that the first one I sent to Brianna to put in there for me. That very first video was from my first event that I ever went to with Bob Proctor. And I've got the little tag on. That woman was the one who didn't believe in herself, and very, very quickly I turned that around and switched it around. And then you see at the end this woman that's moved into this beautiful home with a movie theater and everything, in this beautiful glass office. And I had to transition in my identity in order to get there. And so I wanted to give you that visual, and I hope that it's a reminder for all of you of the end result, and that it's always there, it's always done, it always exists. So this life that I'm living today has always existed. It's always been here. I had to vibrationally match it. Okay. I didn't have to work incredibly hard for it. I had to vibrationally match it. Did I still take action? Did I still start a business? Yes. Did I still scale it? Yes. Did I still show up for myself every single day? Yes. Right. And so this version of me today, in terms of my health status, I had to go to the gym. Like, I had to work out, meal prep, learn about healthy nutrition. Like, I had to actually act as if I was a healthy woman in order to manifest the idea of health for myself. And so that's the same thing here. I did move towards that vision, that goal, that purpose, towards it. I've lost my mouse somewhere here. I guess I don't really need it. The mouse has disappeared. Sometimes my vibration wrecks technology. Shannon Beardsmore did that this morning. She was vibing so high on our team thing that she broke technology, and I'm breaking it again today. You teared up when you saw Bob and I. Yeah, that was a beautiful thing. There's actually one little video in there that I recorded a story where I literally said, okay, guys, I'm coming to you to tell you that anything that you want to happen will absolutely happen, and something that I said out loud has now occurred. And so it's a video of me talking. I said, Bob is going to interview me on a live event one day. Like, I'm going to impress that man so much that he is going to ask me to speak at a live event, and he's going to interview me. And he did that in June of 2020. He asked me to be on his Paradigm Shift live event. It was a virtual one, and I sat in my mom and dad's house in Port Severn, Canada, and he interviewed me, and he asked me. And I was not prepared to be so bold and to say it out loud. I wanted to keep it quiet, but he asked me, how much money have you made since January 1st? And he asked me that in the beginning of June, live on this event. And I was like, oh, Bob. So I had to ask my mom, and she came in and she's like, 770,000. It was something around there. And he just looked at me like, what? And I didn't even fully know it was that much at that point. I was like, wow, I did this. I embodied this. And here I am sitting here being interviewed by the man that I said was going to interview me. And I've made the money I said I was going to make. And I'm being this woman that I said I was going to be. And it was a pivotal moment. So there is a little video in my stories that I found yesterday of me talking about this and how I was going to be interviewed. So it's really special, you guys. And I just want you to see that anything that you think of, anything that you can dream up, you can experience in your life, it's available for you. But you must believe in it. You must believe in it. And you must believe in it more than you believe in the outside world. You must believe in it more than what anybody else says. You must believe in it more than what anybody outside of you has ever experienced. Just because nobody you know has done it doesn't mean you can't do it. I had to go out on an island. My family thought I was crazy. They were literally like, what is this woman doing? This is ludicrous. But I was committed to it, committed to the vision. It was what I was going to call in. It is what it is. And that was it. Nobody could faze me. But the difference between mindset and manifestation, I want to make super, super clear. And I hope all of you know that I'm not trying to instill a belief in you, but for you to find your truth related to this. But the truth for me is that manifestation is spirituality meeting personal growth and development. So mindset is personal growth and development. It says, I'm going to personally develop my mindset. I'm going to personally develop my views on myself. I'm going to personally become better. I'm going to be more efficient, more productive. I'm going to become more disciplined. I'm going to think the best of myself, etc., etc., etc. But that is one piece to the puzzle. The piece to the puzzle that is where the magic lies and where the power lies and where the quantum leaps lie and where the outside of the normal occurs is when you combine it with spirituality. So when I combined it with something greater than my human experience alone, greater than my mindset, greater than what my mind can believe, what my mind can conceive, what my mind can perceive, right? So we have 5 senses that our mind tells us of what's true and real. And if we live our lives according to those 5 senses alone, we are diminishing our capacity and ability for magic and miracles to occur in our life, right? So I was a registered nurse for 12 years. I sat there and I talked about health. I talked about disease, diagnoses. I talked about treatment and medicine. And I talked about helping people to get out of that state and to get into a different state. And never once was I ever taught about my ability to heal myself. Never once was I taught about how I can use my mind to heal my body. Never once was I taught that I can heal myself with God's help. Never once did anybody teach me how to teach people how to use their hands to heal themselves. Never. That is spirituality. That is allowing the forces that are unseen, that are not visible, that your five senses can't make sense of, allowing them to be true and real for you. So my book, Becoming the One, that was 2021 that I wrote that book. But in Becoming the One, I told the story of this first year in business. And I wrote that book in 5 weeks, and it was so true and so honest, and Bob wrote the foreword to it. And I remember being on a live once, and Bob was talking to, I think it was a live event with other PGI consultants, like other coaches in the industry. I can't recall, but I think it was. And somebody asked, where is God's role in this? Where is God's role in law of attraction? Where is God's role in mindset work? Where is God's role in manifesting greatness into your life? And Bob sat there and said, okay, if you want an example of how someone quantum leaped their life through God, read Becoming the One. And I sat there and I went, what? I didn't talk about God in that book. Like, I wouldn't have even used the God language. Back then, I would have used the universe language or source, infinite intelligence, something like that. And so I sat there confused. I'm like, what is he talking about? Like, I didn't do anything with God. Like, what? And then I just listened, and he talked about how I became one with God. And when I became one with God is when the magic happened. And I listened, and then I immediately started to cry. And I realized in that moment that the higher power of universe, of source, infinite supply, the formless substance, spirit, soul, was essentially what the world would call God, just in my own understanding of it. And so I realized that this thing, this energy, this God word that I'd been using in my life, and not in a way that I believed in it, but in a way that, I don't know what that is, and I'm going to be a little resistive to it. I realized that that's what happened. And so wherever you are in your journey and whatever you believe to be true, that is totally fine. You can give it whatever language that you want. It can be God, it can be source, universe, Gus. People call it Gus, God, universe, source, infinite intelligence, formless supply, the all of everything, whatever language you want to use, call it whatever you want. But what I am essentially talking to is a greater, higher power that I am a part of, which means it is a part of me. And so that greater, higher power that exists all around us, using that with mindset and peak performance, that is magic and miracles. That is quantum leaps. So I am not creating on my own as a human with my bare hands. I am co-creating with God in a beautiful partnership towards God's vision and plan for what this lifetime is meant to be for me. And then my human experience going along and saying, okay, this is how we're going to do it. So we have all free will to choose and to be whatever we want to be. And God will just go along with that free will. God will let us choose what we want to be and how we want to live our lives. God will not redirect us. He won't change it for us. He won't interfere. But he will provide you with what you need to take the path you're choosing to take. So me choosing to take this path of influencing others positively through this work, I call it this work, this truth, this knowing, he now guides me along that path. So through intuition, through nudges, through direction, through spirit signs, through all the things, through the people that I meet and the opportunities. But I have to guide and direct that energy. And I guide and direct that energy by who I'm being today. So when I say to God, okay, I'm going to be today a woman who does not believe in herself. I'm going to be today somebody who doesn't know what she's doing. I'm going to be today someone that's not very worthy. I'm going to be today somebody that believes that they're poor and can't pay their bills. I'm going to be somebody today that is going to compare myself to other people and never feel that I'm good enough. You know what God says? Yes. Okay, let's give her what she says. And so God will you're using that source energy, that God energy, that infinite supply. You are just saying, we're going here. This is where we're going today. And that's your free will to choose. That's what that means. And so instead of doing that, I woke up and I said, oh, I'm going to direct this energy in a new way today. I'm going to direct this energy towards success, towards self-love, towards drive, towards impact, towards influence. So I'm going to be a woman today who believes in herself, so much so that she takes bold and daring risks. I'm going to be a woman today who believes in other people and is going to help other people believe in themselves. I'm going to be a woman today who believes she's a millionaire, and that million's going to come to me because I believe I'm a millionaire. I'm a woman who is going to be outside of the box, be different, blaze a trail, do something that nobody else is doing. And I'm going to do it with pride, and I'm going to do it with confidence. So what did God say? Oh, yes, we're going that way. Yep, okay. And so I guided and directed source energy towards this new place. So can we see the difference between mindset, which is something that happens within the mind? It's a human experience. It's part of the ego. So useful and so important. But when you combine it with forces outside of your mind's perception, okay, forces outside of your mind's perception, you are now in the magic and miracle zone. You are now in creation. You are now quantum leaping. So what does that mean then? It means along this journey, you have to be okay with not seeing everything, not tasting everything, not smelling everything, not feeling everything. You have to be okay with now going into this journey a little bit blind, right? So you have to go into this journey trusting. You have to go into this journey with faith. You have to go into this journey with a knowing and a certainty, and you must persist until what? Until you perceive it, until you see it, until you observe it, right? And so this is where we don't allow ourselves to let the forces of the unseen work around us. And we try to find it here, and we try to perceive it here in the 3D realm. And then we say, well, my bank account hasn't changed, so it must not be working. All that money is on its way to your bank account, and you just can't see it yet. And then as soon as you say you can't see it, you're pushing it away, because now you're being an empty bank account. Now you're reacting to an empty bank account. Now you're saying, okay, we're an empty bank account now today. That's the energy we're being. Let's go. So I remain neutral to my circumstances and my observed world because I know what the outcome is. So this house that I'm living in right now, I knew this was my house. Without a shadow of a doubt, I knew I was going to be living in it. I was like, absolutely, it is mine. That's how it is. That's how it's going to be. And so I acted in that assumption regardless. And I had mortgage brokers say, there's no way anybody's going to lend you money. You just started your business in January. It's August. And so you've made $1 million, but nobody's going to give you a mortgage for that. Are you crazy? So everybody was telling me, no, there's no way. Well, I found a mortgage broker that would find some alternate lending, some private lending, different ways. So then I'm like, there we go. So all I had to do was disregard and dismiss what my outside world said and believe in it anyway. Believe in it anyway. And so when I chose to believe in it anyway, guess what? The way revealed itself. Then I needed a $450,000 deposit on this house, right? Cash. And so we sold our house, and we had some that came out of it, but we were still very, very short. And we had put an offer in on this house. We had made it conditional on financing. And then the financing condition came up and the money wasn't here. And I went, okay, alrighty, this is an opportunity for me to have a higher level of faith than I've ever had before. What if I just knew that the money was on its way? What if I just knew it was here and that called it in? And so we took the finance condition off. So people that work in real estate, they'll be like, what did you do? Yes, we took the finance condition off, and we made the decision that we were going to have this house anyways. And so for 45 days, we were locked into purchasing this home and did not have the deposit. And guess what happened? I made $400,000 in 45 days. Because I created the demand, because I believed, and because I acted upon that belief. It created it. So when I say that belief creates the fact, I am not joking. I'm not saying sometimes. I am saying belief creates the fact every time. What I believe in with absolute certainty and knowing occurs. What I do not believe in fully does not occur. It takes more time. So how willing are you to believe in yourself? How willing are you to believe in the millions? How willing are you to believe in God, source, infinite intelligence? How willing are you to believe in this work? I believed in this work and I said, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. I am just going to believe in this. I'm not going to doubt it. I'm not going to be hesitant. If this is true, then I'm going to prove that it's true. And I'm going to go all in. I didn't go like, okay, tippy toes. I'm just going to dip my toes in the pool and see how it feels. No, I said, I'm going to believe in this work wholeheartedly. I'm going to give it my all, my entire belief system. And I'm going to believe in the power of this. And look at my life. Belief creates the fact. I always said I'm going to be my own best testimonial. And I keep doing it over and over and over again. I keep proving it to myself, but it's proving it to you. You're literally seeing it. You're literally observing it before your eyes. Who has been following me since I started? Who's been following me since 2019, 2020? Put it in the chat. You've been watching it. And so how long have you been watching it but not embodying it? Okay, so it's another thing to follow me. It's another thing to watch me, but it's another thing to join me. I posted this once, I think last week or something, I posted that quote, and I mean it. Because it is so different. I could have just watched Bob. I could have watched all of his videos. I could have just been like, okay, yes, taking notes every single time. And I could have just like observed him and gathered the knowledge. But it was when I actually said, you know what? I'm going to do this with you. I'm going to actually embody this work. I'm going to do everything that you tell me to do. I am going to show up. I'm going to just believe. I'm going to throw caution to the wind, and I am just going to believe in myself today. I'm going to be crazy and believe in myself. Let's go. When that happened, that's where all of this magic happened. I have a beautiful book from Bob, You Were Born Rich, and he signed it. And he literally signed inside of it, you have earned my admiration. What I did was not something that even he recognized as being normal or average, okay? So a man who teaches this work, who understands this work, who is this work, was still like, wow. It was one of the biggest quantum leaps that he's seen in this work. And so I proved it by embodying it myself in my life. And I asked him why. I said, why me, Bob? Like, so many people know this. They could teach this, but they're not experiencing this for themselves. Why not? And he said, because you have internalized this work. I am this work. This is the truth to me. And so every single day I have to remind myself of this truth, because the outside world doesn't live according to this truth. The TV shows that you watch, Love is Blind, I watched with Reagan last night, those people do not know this truth, right? The TV shows, social media, your employers at work, the school system, the everyday average person does not live according to this truth. This is a new idea in the mind. It is a new belief system. It is a new way of being. And it's completely different from what most are doing. Are we normalizing it? Yes. Are more people starting to learn from this? Yes. But is it the average and the norm? No, it still isn't. But it can be for you, which means you can tap into this magic any day you want. These miracles can be your miracles any day you want, but it's going to involve you thinking from a new place, from a new idea, and allowing yourself to believe. What does it mean to believe? What does it mean to believe in something? To believe in yourself. What does that mean to you? Belief to me is what's true, what I'm going to allow to be true today. And you know how you know whether you believe something or not and whether it's true? Your behavior. So when your behavior says, I'm going to act upon this belief, it tells you what's true, right? So if I'm working on a paper in university, this is what I used to do all the time. I wanted to get an A. And I really wanted to show up and get the best grade that I can and it be the best paper that I could ever write. But yet, I would put it off. It would be due in 2 weeks, and then 2 days before, I'd start it. What was that about? I didn't believe it was going to be an A paper. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe it was going to be really good. I didn't believe it was going to be perfect. So I put it off, and I put it off, and I put it off, and I put it off. And so I left myself with only 2 days to write a huge final paper that required 2 weeks to write. So I self-sabotaged myself because I did not believe in myself, right? And when you fully believe in yourself, you believe in every word that comes out of your mouth, you believe in any feeling that you have in your body, and you believe in source, spirit, God energy. And so belief is everything when it comes to this work. And I'm so bold and daring when it comes to my belief systems now. I'm loud and proud about it. I call myself KCB. Like, how dare you? Like, who do you think you are? Just walking around calling yourself a billionaire when you don't have billions? Because I understand this work. And the more that I walk in the energy of being a billionaire, the more I am moving that energy into my life. And the billionaire energy isn't about money. It's about experience. It's about influence. It's about vibration. It's about frequency. It's about empowerment. So the woman that I become on the road to billions, this woman that is showing up, she is powerful. She is magical. She's incredible. She's iconic, right? And so I get to become her in the process. I get to believe in myself more than I did yesterday. Every single day I have an opportunity to believe in myself more than I did yesterday. And so by believing in that, I literally create that. Does this make sense? Nod your head because I can't read the chat. I'm going blind now, so I can't respond to your chat messages because my chat's frozen. But anyways, I can see your beautiful faces, so that's all I need. And I can feel your energy and vibrations very powerfully. Is Cindy on? Because I would love to bring Cindy on so she can share a little bit of her insights. There she is. Hello, beautiful.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm amazing. I'm so happy to share this because um,
Mhm.
you have this energy about you, and this is why I'm so happy for everyone to experience it. That is very poised, I think is the best word. And you are a very successful woman with a successful team and a very successful business.
Mhm.
And you are not stressed out to the max, freaking out,
No. Mm-mm.
crazy activated nervous system in fight or flight. Like you are
Yeah.
just incredible. And I'm so glad people get to meet you. But why don't you tell us where in the world are you, Cindy? I don't even.
Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Yes, I knew
So,
that. Santa
yes.
Fe, New Mexico. And you are in the financial world. So she is not a coach. She doesn't teach this work. She's in a
Mhm.
completely different business than me. So that's why this is also really special because people always say, oh, well, Kathleen, do you just coach coaches? No, I do not.
No.
But Cindy is a leader, absolutely in the financial space. So why don't you tell people a little bit about maybe before you kind of found me and this work, where were
Mhm.
you at in your life and what led you to deciding
Yeah,
to embody this?
sure. So what really started out was in mortgage. So I'm in mortgage, and your story about your home, true story, that would everybody would be saying, no way. But what really took place was I was running ragged. I mean, that's just the true story. I felt like I was working 12-hour days, 7 days a week, and there really wasn't time for my own life. And I had been, praying about something to shift, something to change. And I had made a commitment also about 8 months prior to connecting with you that I wanted to go bigger. I wanted to serve on a higher level. I wanted to do some things differently. And one day, my associate Shay came in and she said, hey, there's this gal. I've been following her a lot, and her name's Kathleen. She's doing this 2-day event. I think we should check it out. And so I had never heard of Kathleen. I This was new for me. So I watched the video of what it was. And I was like, this does sound interesting. And that's what really introduced me to Kathleen and the work. And I mean, oh my God, I got on that call, that first call, and it was just like inside me, I was like, yes, this is it. And I just immediately signed up. Like and then, I didn't want, I could feel it and I could feel it's what I had called forth, but like you've got that fear inside, but at the same time, you're like, this is it.
Yeah. And I think it's important that you mention that because I think a lot of people believe that the decision to make that leap to learn and to grow and to invest in
Mhm,
yourself is easy. But even for
mhm,
me, it took me probably like a week and a half to finally make the decision to take that course in 2019
mhm,
because you're still operating from a limited view of
mhm.
yourself, a limited
Right.
identity, right? And
Hmm.
so that's where the growth lies because you've got to decide when you don't see your full worth and value that you're going to invest in your full worth and value. So it is a little
Right.
bit of like a catch 22 in some ways.
Hmm.
But that's where you skip timelines. That's where you jump because you're choosing not to be the old version of you that doesn't believe and you're
Hmm.
choosing to be the new. So I love that. And so now that you've been studying the work, so you've
Hmm.
taken most of my programs now, Cindy. I guess you
Yep.
took
Yeah.
your modern
Yep.
mentor.
It's
By
true.
the way, I can't wait to meet your daughter in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
really, really excited.
It'd be a
Um,
lot of fun. Hmm.
yeah, and Cindy's been at my inner circle day, and she
Hmm.
was at CEO day that I did in
Hmm.
Toronto. And I've just witnessed this growth occur, and it's been yes in business,
Right.
but it's also internal. So I would love for you to share what is the internal shifts that you
Mm.
made that have led to some of these external ones. We'll talk about the external, but I want to go to internal first.
So, in mortgage, there's always a certain level of responsibility I felt for others. Like this had to work and this had to work. And so worry, an underlying worry that was constantly always there, it doesn't
Mm,
exist anymore. It just doesn't exist. So my emotional intelligence, let's just say it that way, has shifted so much to where I no longer get engaged. Like, let's just say I'm not a perfect human being, but I would say that 96% of the time, I don't get pulled off course. So the vision and the where I hold myself and what I'm choosing to create stays present. And
mm,
when things pull at me, they don't pull at me. And there's just a knowing. Like, I think the greatest gift that you've given me, aside of growing so much emotionally, is I truly know. Like, there's
mm.
just this knowing, like, you're going to be this billionaire. You already are her. I know that what I'm choosing to create is already here. And I'm just, every day I step a little closer into it.
Yeah, and I
Mhm.
love that you use the word worry because I
Mhm.
think a lot of us worry
Mhm.
about things. And I don't
Yes.
even think that we would sit here and be like, oh, I'm worried about this and I'm worried about that. But I think
Mhm.
every single one of us can recognize that underlying anxious feeling in us that's a worry that's present all the time.
Mhm. Yep.
It's like a heaviness, it's a
Mhm.
bit of a
Mhm.
distraction. I used
Right.
to wake up in the morning with like shoulder pain
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that would be how that worry would show up. I would be worried that I wasn't doing enough or that I wasn't enough or that I didn't have
Mhm.
enough or that it wasn't going to work or things like
Right.
that. And the peace and the calmness that comes when that disappears
Mhm.
is magical. So, in terms of your business now,
Mhm.
you
Yep.
lead a team, and I
Mhm.
know that you've embodied this information yourself, and now you're
Right.
teaching it to your team. So, what
Right.
are some of the things that you have embodied and you teach to your team now that's made a difference in the business?
So each person is an individual, and I think it's finding where they meet and what they can hear at this time. So for me, when I watched you, I was like, oh my, this is me. Like, this, she's got this, and I want this. I knew that. And so part of it is showing them what's possible for them and listening to their language, because that's, I think, what's so important is when I listen to their language, I hear all of these roadblocks, all these stops. And so then redirecting that language and sharing. And, of course, I'm always sharing, you should watch this, you should do this. And each person has to take it on their own, because one of the really true other greatest gifts you gave me, and I don't know that you remember this, but in Toronto, Jen introduced me to you. And you said, the one thing I want you to do is, you said, take it slow. embody everything. And I took that to heart. And I believe because each time you teach something and each time you would, I would make sure I was practicing it. Am I practicing it? And I would catch myself like even as much as I've gone about 2 weeks ago, all of a sudden I had this weird fear around money. And I'm like, why are you worried about money? Like there is no reason. I have absolutely no reason to be worried about money. And I'm like, what is happening? So I went deeper in because that's really what you tell us. Hey, if
Yeah.
this shows up, it's you're never going to, these are always going to happen. We're human. So when it shows up, address it, look at it, what's happening. And the minute I shifted it, that day we had 5 new loans come in just in one day. But it was like my phone wasn't ringing and I'm like, ooh, what's happening? But it was all because of that.
Yeah, and I love that you shared that example because that is an example of receivership. So we are either in a state of receivership for the thing that we
Mm-hmm,
desire, or we're in a state of resistance to the thing that we desire.
hmm.
Now, most people are walking around in receivership of what they already have,
Yeah.
right? So first you got to start thinking about what you don't have and then become open to receive that.
Hmm.
So when you're in receivership, it's a flow state. And so what that means is your consciousness is open to receive that which you desire. To be in a state of resistance then is like a kink in the hose. It's like a
Hmm.
clog, right? So I want this, but I'm afraid I'm not going to have it. So when you
Hmm.
were having those thoughts of fear around money, right?
Right.
You
Hmm.
want to call in more money, you want to be open to receive it, you want
Right.
infinite supply of money available to you, and
Hmm.
then you have a fear-based thought around money. So the fear-based thought kinks the hose. It
Hmm.
says, "Oh, nope." Right? So that's why as soon as you went within and you found the root of the
Right.
fear-based thought and you
Hmm.
questioned its integrity, to be quite honest, like,
Right.
is this
Yeah.
really true? Like,
Yeah.
is this really real? Where did this come
Hmm.
from? And that
Hmm.
that fear-based money thought probably came from a past experience, something you'd
Yep.
experienced before that was just
Hmm.
like rearing its ugly head. And so when you dismissed it and you said, no, actually, that is not true. I'm not going to believe in this fear. I'm not going to believe in this worry. The kink was open. And so that's why you
Exactly.
saw 5
Hmm.
loans come in,
Hmm. Yep.
right? In
Hmm.
one day.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
this is the power of energetics, right?
Hmm.
Because what happens with the fear-based belief around money, it lowers your vibration. So you probably weren't
Hmm.
feeling too good when you were
Yep.
in that
Yep.
fear-based thought,
It's
right?
true.
And so
Hmm.
energetically, you're now in a lower based vibration. And so you don't call things into you like you would from that
Hmm.
open to receive, money's flowing to me and I love it and I'm
Right.
open to receive it feeling. That's the
Exactly.
receivership. So I love that example, Cindy. I think
Hmm.
that's beautiful. And what you're really talking about with taking it slow
Hmm.
is the embodiment piece. So don't
Right.
sit here and take all of the courses all at one time, take all the information in and do nothing with it. I wanted you to sit with it, be with it, know it, walk in it, understand it,
Hmm.
practice it, and then go to the next thing.
Yep.
And that's exactly what I did. It was this journey of growth and
Hmm.
learning over that first year.
Yep.
That was super special. So why don't you tell people about the milestone that you hit in your business with your team this year? I would love
So
for you to.
yes, and I want to kind of compare it. So when I first came into this business, we were in the crash. So anybody that knows about the mortgage crash, I wasn't even doing 1 loan a month. And it was, you guys, it's, I mean, you're like saying, okay, how am I going to make this rent payment? How am I going to make my car payment? It was tough. And we are in what they compare right now, the same thing. So I want you to really hear that. We are in the same thing. And yet today we are over 100, we're at 110 million, 110 million in sales. And at that time, I wasn't even closing 200,000 a month. And this is, I truly feel this is the gift that Kathleen's given me. So I'm taking in an industry when people aren't closing 1 loan a month, we're thriving and we're serving on such a huge level. And this is the gift of her work. And I can't express enough how grateful I am to you because
Oh,
it's changed my life, but it's changed the life of my family and how I serve. Because all I see, I went to an event, Sales Mastery, never been to a sales club, just so I can say, went to one, and everybody there was in such lack. I actually pulled myself out and left because I'm like, this is not This is not me,
Yeah.
but this is
Yeah.
Kathleen's work. And I mean, so I truly want you to hear that's the difference. I've been through both sides, and I believe without this work, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah, and I think Cindy too, you have to disregard whatever the
Mhm.
outside world is telling you. And so when the outside
Right.
world is saying the mortgage business is bad right now, real
Hmm.
estate is bad right now, like we're in a
Right.
crash. If your mind accepted that
Uh,
belief, your business would
yeah.
not be where it's at.
No, it's
So
not.
you
Mm-mm.
believed in something that nobody else is willing to believe in, and look at what you're
Right.
doing. You're thriving. I think it's
It's true.
100 and I think you're probably at 111 million. Just watch. Go pull your numbers. I bet you're going to be
You're
111
probably
million.
right. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
true.
When you
That's
said
really
110,
true.
I'm like, oh no, it's got to be 111.
Should have thought that.
Cindy,
That's really true.
yeah, that
So,
is amazing. That is
mhm,
incredible. I sit here today myself as someone that desires to do 100 million in revenue in
mhm,
my business. And so for somebody to come in here and to be
mhm,
learning from me and now
mhm,
showing me what's
mhm.
possible, phenomenal. And so I'm
Yeah.
inspired, I'm impressed. And honestly, this is where I look to people that are doing the things that are available
Mhm,
to me, and I see them as evidence of it being available to me. So no matter where you are, no matter if you've made a million or you're working on 100 million, it is all available to us as long as we
mhm.
believe in it. So Cindy,
Yeah,
any
it's
last
true.
words for anybody that is still in that fear? What would you tell them
Mhm.
to get over that and to like really move into this elevated version?
I would say jump in with both feet. I mean, just trust and just let go because that's what I did. And I mean, it changed my life so quickly. And I think the thing that attracted to me this work most is truly how authentic Kathleen is. I was so drawn to her because she's so real. She's not fluff and buff, it's real, and you can do it too. Anything that's your dream is yours if you say yes to yourself, because it's really about saying yes to yourself. The work is
Yeah.
available. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and
Oh,
thank you, Kathleen. Thank you for changing my life. Thank you for my kids, for me, for my community. Thank you.
aw. I always say this, and Bob used to say it too, but I didn't change anything you did, but I
Mhm.
just got to be the guide to give you
Yeah.
what you needed in order to make those changes, and to hold you to it because
Hmm.
you can do it alone. It's going to take you a lot longer.
Hmm.
And we do it in a way too that's with so much love too. So I
Hmm.
want to I want to move with love in this journey.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't want anything but that. And so it's so special that we have so much love between us, and our inner
Mm.
circle group is so good. And you're going to come and record on my podcast, right?
Yeah, I am. I
Yeah,
am.
she's
I'm
coming to
excited.
Malibu. We're recording my podcast in my Malibu house, and so Cindy's
Mhm.
going to come and be interviewed and share this. So I think the social proof
Mhm.
alone in this work. So
Yeah.
it's one thing for me to share it, and then I teach it. So
Yeah.
you're like, okay,
Yeah.
but for somebody else to get on here and share it that's in a completely different industry and show you the embodiment of this, I hope that you all use this as proof of what's available to you. So Cindy, congratulations on 111 million.
I accept. Thank you. All right. Bye. Thank you.
Oh man, I can't. I can you? Nobody can change me to gallery. All I can see is myself now. My mouse is completely gone. I'm gonna see if I have a charger in here. Sorry, give me a minute, guys, because I want to draw something, and I think God's trying to tell me I'm not gonna be able to draw it because I can't use my mouse. My mouse and my trackpad are gone. So should I just trust? Yeah, we're gonna trust. Okay, we're gonna surrender. No, it doesn't fit. Okay, so we're gonna do it without drawing, and I'm just gonna do it looking at myself and a few of you over here on the side. So send me your vibrations through the ether, please. Okay, I want to talk about the difference between high vibe, positivity, and operating on a new frequency of vibration. Okay, so this isn't something that I read in a book. This isn't something that someone taught me. This is something that through this work I realized is a difference, and that I've started to teach this difference in my millionaire program for my millionaire students. I've never taught this on a live event before. And I think it makes the difference between starting to feel better and actually manifesting wealth in your life. Okay. So, if we think about the world that we live in, it's a vibrational world, which means we are energy. And we are made up of energy, and everything that is around us is made up of that same energy. And it's just in different forms, right? And so we are always transmuting energy, which means the energy that we are is always transmuting into something else. So our thought energy, it transmutes into form, thoughts into things. Our words spoken energy, it transmutes into things. Abracadabra means, okay, this is magic. Abracadabra means speak and so it is. I create through my words. That's abracadabra, right? And our actions are also vibration and turn into form. So because we are energy and we live in an energetic world, we influence our world through that energy. We change our outer world through the vibration that we are in and we are holding every single day. The law of attraction. Beautiful, powerful law. It's a secondary law to the law of vibration. So the law of vibration says that we are always constantly vibrating. It can never stop. So the law of attraction then says that vibration influences what you attract to it. So I see myself as a magnet, right? I see myself as a magnet. And so when I am operating as limited Kathleen, that magnet doesn't attract very good things to it. But when I'm operating from an empowered Kathleen, it attracts everything that an empowered Kathleen would attract, the best of life. If I want the best that life has to offer, I have to offer life my best. Of course, that's Neil Donald Walsh. That makes sense then, right? Because if I want to attract back to me the same thing that I'm giving out, I need to be that thing. And one thing I want to make very clear and very honest and upfront with all of you is that you cannot lie to the law of vibration. You can lie to me. Yeah. You can lie to your family. You can lie to your friends. You can make it look like you're doing amazing and that you're confident. You can show up on social media and you can pretend to be empowered. You can pretend to be confident. You can pretend to love yourself. But the law of vibration knows the true feeling within. So no matter what you're projecting or pretending to be, what you truly believe within you is the vibration that you are emitting. So this is why we got to do the inner work. This is why we've got to go within and ask ourselves, what do I truly think of me? What do I truly think of the world? What do I truly think of my business? What do I truly think about everything around me? Because thoughts become things. I have met individuals that have millions of followers on their social media platforms and they cannot pay their rent. What's going on there? How can you have millions of followers, this visibility, but you can't pay your rent? Because there is something going on within your consciousness, within your beliefs about you and your identity that is allowing you to be open to receive and be seen, but not open to receive in terms of financial wealth and gain. So there is something in your consciousness that is a kink in the hose when it comes to receiving money into your life. And it's likely your money story or wounding related to money. And so what I want you guys to do is to be able to change the vibration in which you are operating in every single day to manifest greatness into your life. So the movie The Secret that came out in, I don't know what year. Someone would tell me in the chat, but I can't read it. But anyways, that movie, The Secret, powerful, incredible documentary. And I truly believe that it's an amazing starting point into this work. But one of the messages that many people took from that was that be positive and you'll become more successful. So think positive thoughts and positive things will find you. Yes. Okay, so the more positive you are, the more loving you are, the happier you are, the better your human experience will be. So you will experience things in your life that'll make you happier, and you will experience more positive people. Like everybody I meet now is lovely. Like I very rarely meet people that are not very kind. I tend to walk out in this world just expecting kindness, and that's what I get back. But there's a difference between manifesting from mood and manifesting from identity. Okay, so mood does not manifest wealth. So when we're talking about becoming a millionaire, making $1 million, and you might want to make $1 million in a year, you want to make $1 million in a month, you want to make $1 million in a week, you want to make $1 million in a day, does not matter. It's all the same thing. But the energy of $1 million, the feeling of $1 million isn't mood alone. So how do we know that that's true? If it was mood that manifests, happiness and positivity manifests wealth, Every single wealthy person would be happy, would they not? They would be highly positive, would they not be? And then that means that every positive and happy person would be incredibly wealthy. So we can see that that's not truth. That mood does not manifest, right? Because I've been in a really bad mood and made a lot of money. So what's going on there? So what actually manifests is identity. And so the identity of who you believe you are has a feeling, it has a vibration, and that is what manifests, right? And so when I'm in an identity of disempowerment, I'm taking my own power away. I'm saying, you know what? I'm not as good as her. I don't know enough. I'm too old. It's too late in the journey for me. Oh, this person does it way better than me. You might as well go hire them. Oh, I'm not so sure my products are the best. They could be a little bit better. Or you have this identity of, I wish I was more successful, but I'm not. And I'm really disappointed in myself for that. All of those thoughts keep you on a frequency of wealth that is lower. But an identity of, I'm incredible at what I do. Everybody wants to buy my products. Everybody wants to work with me. Everybody wants to learn from me. I am empowered. I am amazing at what I do. I'm the best in the industry. Everybody comes to me. I'm a magnet that everyone comes from. I am highly successful and influential. I'm changing the world. Those beliefs, that identity has a very different feeling, which calls different things to it. So I used to teach on live events where I would have 20, 30 people live, right? And so now I have live events where we've had up to 12, 13, 1,400 live watching my live events through YouTube and on Zoom. And I've had upwards of like 8, 9,000, 10,000 people register where it used to be 100. So what's the difference? The difference is in the magnet with which I'm sending out into the world. The vibration with which I'm being out in the world is different. It's not that I'm just happier, right? It's not just that I'm more positive. I'm a more positive person, and so more people want to be around my positivity. It has a lot more to do with the general underlying feeling of what it feels like to be Kathleen. And so when I feel empowered, more of you want to listen to me. When I feel like what I have to say is worthy and valuable and important, more of you want to listen to me. When I actually believe I can make a difference in your life, more people want to come and learn from me. My client results, so those that are in my programs, are better when I believe in me. The transmutation transcends even into my students within my courses. And this is the power of operating on a new frequency of vibration and not simply being high vibe. Okay? So we can be high vibe and not attract money. We can be high vibe and our business not grow. So I want you to be high vibe, yes. So I want you to raise in the vibration of your general everyday mood. So I want you to be happier every day. I want you to be more positive. I want you to see the good in the world. I want you to have faith and all that. Yes, but I don't want you to just stop there. This isn't just about feeling good. It's about feeling empowered. Feel the difference? So Katie, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to say this example because I think it's really, really good. Katie on my team, phenomenal, phenomenal woman. Always very happy, very, very positive. And when you're around her, she really does make you feel good, which is amazing. But when we did a retreat in Miami as a team, we were all together, and Katie said something about how she wants to become an even happier version of herself, happier than she's ever been in her life. And I said, okay, that's really great, and I love that, but I actually want you to be powerful and happy. Feel the difference there? To be powerful, to be in your power, to be empowered. There is a difference there. So it's one thing to be kind and to be generous and to be loving. I love being all those things. I truly do. And now I actually see my kindness as one of my greatest strengths. I used to think that my kindness was maybe a little bit of a weakness because it was soft, but I actually believe that my kindness, my authenticity is they're one of my greatest strengths. But there's also a power to my belief system around me. So I'm not just like happy go lucky and kind. I'm actually very powerful. And I really tap into that power. I understand that power, but I feel that power. Okay? So I want you to sit here right now and think of a time when you have been your happiest in your life. The happiest you've ever been. Even put it in the chat. I can't read it, but put it in the chat and tell me about a time in your life when you were the happiest. You were just so happy. Oh man. I think about the day we moved into this house. I was so happy. You know, the day I picked up my new Lamborghini Urus, I was so happy. The day my babies were born, oh man, so happy. Like that brings you to tears. It's such a miracle, right? So these are all happy moments where we're experiencing happiness. Now I want you to sit back and I want you to think of a time when you have felt your most powerful. Your most powerful. Okay? It's not going to be as easy to find. Think about those moments when we are our most powerful. Jen, in WhatsApp, can you send me a couple of things, examples people said of their most powerful? I just want to speak to them. If you wouldn't mind, just copy and paste here in WhatsApp. That would be helpful for me. So to feel your most power, that means to feel your power yourself. Not necessarily to see its effect, but I'm trying to connect you with a feeling within. And my team, if you guys want to share some of the times you felt your most powerful, I would love for you to do that too. So I'm just going to give you guys a minute and see if Jen can send me a couple of examples where you felt your most powerful. Okay. One time that I felt my most powerful was when I thought something into existence, literally like this. So standing in the airport and there's a huge long lineup to get through customs. One customs guy, hundreds of people in line, and this woman says to me, oh man, this is going to take forever. This lineup is moving so slow. And so what did I do? I connected to my power and I thought, no, I'm going to move this line. I'm going to move this line using my mind. And so I closed my eyes. Did a visualization of this line moving quickly, more customs people coming. And I said to her, don't worry, the lineup's going to move faster now. I used my mind to do so. I tapped into my power. And then guess what? The line moved and we were through in minutes. She goes, you just did that. I said, I know I did. Okay. Let me just read here. Beatrice, when I have seen people transform before my eyes because of my energy. Yes, you felt your power. So I do feel this power as well when I'm in physical presence with all of you. I can feel how my vibration immediately calibrates yours. So if any of you have met me in person, being around me, you'll know that it's actually a feeling of being around this vibration, and I can feel your vibration rise by being next to mine. And that's me feeling my power. Gloria, when she opened her business, is when she felt her powerful. When I performed on stage in front of thousands of people. Yes, Stephanie. So you felt powerful in that moment. So not just happy, but powerful. Can we feel the difference between happy and powerful? The day I presented to a room full of local business people and the anointing was flowing. Yes. Jesse, this is so good, Jesse. When I didn't react to someone who was yelling at me and calling me hateful things. Right? Because it's powerful to remain disciplined. It's powerful to respond and not react. It's powerful to remain in your composure, to remain in your truth, right? She was holding her power by not being reactive. Nobody can hurt your feelings, only you can hurt your feelings. So Jessie used her power to not let her feelings be hurt, right? So the drawing that I would draw, if I could draw today, if God wanted me to draw, but he doesn't want me to draw, so I gotta teach it, is a frequency of vibration like this. So if we think of lines on a piece of paper like this, right? So what happens with manifestation and the power of this work is that you begin on one level here. And what I mean by that is level, I mean is frequency. So you are currently making a certain amount of money every single day into your life, or every month into your life, or every year. And you will find that it likely averages over time, and it's likely consistent. So for me as a registered nurse, I was making a similar amount of money every single month, and I was at this paradigm. Let's say it's 5,000. I was on the frequency of vibration of $5,000 a month. So I was operating on that frequency. And so no matter what I did, I always made 5,000. And then when I started my side business and I quit my nursing career and I now became my side business full time, guess how much money I made? 5,000. Because my identity was set to make $5,000 a month. So then what happens is people start to get into this work and they start to feel happier, they start to love their life more, they start to live in gratitude more, and their vibration starts to change. So vibration is an oscillation, it's like a wave, right? So we're vibrating in waves. And so Kathleen, when I first started this work, I was operating on the frequency of $5,000 a month, and the wave or the oscillation of my vibration was low and slow, like this. Because I didn't love myself, I didn't believe in myself, I was disempowered, so I was vibrating low and slow. So on the 5K frequency, low and slow, okay? Then I started to see life differently. I started to see myself differently. My mood started to change. So I was on the 5K frequency, and then I was happy and I was inspired and I was loving life. My vibration was high. So that's what it means to vibe high, right? So to vibe high is oscillating faster and higher, right? So you'll feel that. You guys know when you're vibing high, you're happy, you're in a flow state, you're like, let's go do this thing. You feel inspired. But in order for you to make more money, you have to jump to a new timeline. And so it's not just about changing the oscillation. This is what most people are teaching. Be high vibe and you'll make more money. No. I want you to be high vibe, but on a new frequency. So let's jump from 5K a month frequency to 10K a month frequency to 20K a month frequency to 100K a month frequency, and to rise in the frequency of vibration. And that is identity. Okay. And so when you're now starting to operate on a new frequency of vibration, so let's say I'm operating on $20,000 now. I've decided that I make $20,000 a month. I've convinced myself this is what I do. I make 20K a month easily and effortlessly and continuously. And I start to really believe in that. What's going to happen? From my belief system, I am now going to change what I'm calling in. So when I'm vibrating from $20,000 a month, I start to call in all the opportunities, the experiences, the people, the connections, the networks to fulfill $20,000 a month. But if I'm still on 5, I'm not calling all of that in. I'm not attracting it. So you're not going to attract the leads into your business if you're thinking from 5K. So Cindy, for example, in a time where the world is telling her that she's probably going to sell 1 loan a month, if she had believed that, she would have stayed on 1 loan a month, which is like 200,000, she said, I think. So if she had stayed there and thought from there and observed from there, do you think all these people would be coming to her for mortgages? No. It's resistance. She would have said, I am not open to receive. I'm only open to receive 1. And so when that 1 loan came through on that month, the door was closed because of her vibration. So now Cindy went up to 100 million. She's like, okay, I'm not going to believe the outside world. I'm not falling for this. I'm actually going to believe that $100 million in revenue is possible in this climate, in this financial climate, in this economy. I'm going to think outside the box. Let's be wild and crazy and go for it. So she starts thinking from there. So she's thinking from the possibility and the potentiality of 100 million. She started to vibrate like 100 million, not just 1 loan. And so when she started to vibrate from 100 million, she now was open to receive all the people that were looking for loans. So all the other mortgage brokers, their energy is, I'm closed. We're in a poor economy. So where did people go find? They went and found Cindy. Because she's open to receive, because she's thinking from that idea. Her vibrational state is thinking from that idea. So she literally attracted them to her based on her belief system. But there's another magical thing that happens too. So when you start operating from a new frequency of vibration, you start operating from that 100 million. I started operating from that millionaire. Okay, so let's go back to that millionaire identity. So when I started operating from the identity of being a millionaire, God starts to say, oh, I see this is where we were going. Source energy says, okay, we're serious about this. So then God starts to give you intuitive nudges, intuitive hits, starts to guide you along that path. So that's where I started to get ideas like crazy. I started to get nudges. I started to get meeting new people. And where it was like, I'd meet this person, they'd introduce me to this person, and then it would be this person, and that person would help me grow my business. You know, I started to see signs. Okay. So what does it mean if you start seeing signs all over the place? My spirit sign is butterfly. Started to see butterflies. Even in the middle of winter, I'd see a butterfly. Impossible. How? And then I'll never forget the first day I went to Bob Proctor's studio. I went and got my silver and gold pin. I manifested going there and meeting him. I went to his home just outside of Toronto in Thornhill. And as I'm leaving his studio, the glass sliding door to leave his studio has little butterfly stickers all over it. And I went, oh, see how God is telling me this is my path? This is my future? This is what I'm meant to do? He literally put butterfly stickers on Bob's door to show me, right? So what ends up happening is God will start to direct you through signs, through symbols, through things that you connect with. So 111 for me, that's my divine connection. Whenever I see 111, I know God is telling me what you are doing in this moment right now is the right thing. Keep going. So I got my 111 tattoos. I got a 111 tattoo here. I just got them touched up. And then another one here. I put them where I can see them. Why would I want to see my 111 24/7 like that? Because my human, the human within, the Kathleen within, when she sees 111, feels supported, knows she's on the right path, feels empowered, and is connected to God. So I want my connection to be visible 24/7. I just want to remind my human every single day that she is divinity and that she is one with the very source of all things and that she guides and directs it by who she is being in every single moment. So it's just a personal reminder. And then I got the word divine on my hand too here. And then self-love. There's another thing I got on my hand. Listen, I didn't get this for you. I got this for me. To remind myself that when I love myself fully, I am empowered. I am in my power. So through self-love and through divinity, I am one with, and this is where quantum leaps and magic happen, right? And this isn't just for women to love themselves, this is for men too. To truly love yourself, to say, man, I am incredible. I am amazing. I don't want to be anybody else. For my whole life, until 2019, I wanted to be somebody else because who I was terrible, was awful. I would be like, oh, I wish I was her. I wish I was her. I wish I was her. I wish I had her life. I wish I had her body. I wish I had her career. I wish I had her personality. I wish I had her humor. I always wanted to be somebody else because I didn't think that I was good enough. Do you think I want to be anybody else today? No. And it's not because of what I have. It's not because I have wealth. It's because the experience of being me is peaceful. It's loving. It's joyful. I wish I could just let you into my head for a little while so you could really feel what's going on in here most of the time. It's really magical. It's really, really beautiful. And that's what I want for all of you, is to be able to feel this peace, to feel this joy, this bliss, this love, this gratitude, and to experience a life where you're not at war with yourself anymore. It's really beautiful. But that comes from commitment to invest in yourself and to grow into that version, because our world has taught us to be different. Our world has taught us to operate on the 5K or less frequency. It's taught us to worry. It's taught us to be afraid. Everything around us is putting thoughts into your mind to tell you that you can't do it, that it's going to be too hard, that you're going to have to work too hard. And even some spiritual circles will even say that it is not spiritual to be wealthy. I think that it is highly spiritual to be wealthy, because spirituality is connecting to the greater source of all. And our source of all is the source of everything, including money. So to allow yourself to be open to receive God's abundance is highly spiritual, right? Highly, highly spiritual. So I am a woman that, yes, is very, very highly spiritual, very, very connected to God. I do not identify in any religion. I identify in spirituality, but I do use the God language. I do believe in a creator that I am one with, that I am co-creating with. But I am also a woman who believes that wealth is my birthright. I believe that to be wealthy is our natural state. To have access to all resources in abundance is natural for us, and we are limiting ourselves by not believing in it. So yes, I'm highly spiritual, but I love Prada. Let's say that. Allowing yourself to enjoy some of the finer things in life. And to be wealthy allows you to circulate. The ways in which I circulate to others is so beautiful. I am so grateful every single day for the ways in which I get to give to other people, the ways that I get to elevate other people's life, the experience that I get to have in helping people become their best because of the money that I'm allowing myself to have. So you have to be okay with allowing yourself to be open to receive, removing any and all judgment from the idea of money, and to be absolutely in love with the idea of being a millionaire. So what I'm going to talk to you about for a little bit more today, but primarily tomorrow, is how do we get onto the millionaire frequency? Okay, so if 5K a month is here, 20K a month is here, 50K a month is here, 88.8 is here. Is that what adds up to $1 million? Yeah, 88.8, or is it 83.3? See, I can't even remember. And you can't tell me in the chat because I can't read it. This is why I don't like to just stream. I like to have the chat because you guys always tell me. So $1 million divided by 12. Come on, Brianna, we got this. Divided by 12. Yeah, 83.3. That's what I thought. So the frequency of vibration that we want to tap into is 83.3 thousand per month. Okay, so if you're operating on, if you make on average $5,000 a month, $3,000 a month, whatever it is, we want to get you up to $83.3 thousand a month. We want to get you being a vibrational match to the experience of $83.3 thousand a month. Okay, so this isn't just about being happy. This isn't just about being high vibe. This isn't just about being positive or grateful. Those things I do want you to be them, but I want you to tap into your internal power and your manifestation mechanism and to direct source energy towards $83.3 thousand a month. And the first way in which you do this is to desire it. You must desire it. Fully embrace it. I would love that. I would love that. When you start saying that, you are moving out of the energy of I don't have that and I'm displeased with it, and you're moving into the energy of now starting to create it. So desire is the beginning of manifestation, right? To desire something, to allow yourself to want it. So yes, I would love that. I would love to be a billionaire. I would absolutely love that. And then once we desire it and we're okay with it, so put it in the chat if you want. If you want to say, yes, I desire that. I would absolutely love that in my life. Thank you so much, right? So after we've gotten into the desire, we have to make a commitment and an intention to become that, to become a millionaire. So to want to be a millionaire and to desire it, and then to say, okay, I intend to be. See how I've moved the energy? So now it's not just like, oh, I'd love that. I want that. That sounds great. We're now going, okay, now I'm going to be it. Yes, I intend to be it. So now we're going to make a commitment to ourselves that every day, I'm going to become a millionaire. I intend to be one. And so this is where like some of the people in your life might think you're a little wacky or crazy because they're going to be like, what are you talking about? So a little example of this, in my network marketing business, we actually did a vision board. Oh, Brianna, can you grab it? Yeah, go into that closet and I think it's in there. We created vision boards, okay? Everybody else, they're not in this work. They're not studying this work, any of them. It was just me. Yeah, there it is. And I created this vision board. This was in late 2019. Look at this thing. I kept her. Okay. Something fell off. I can't remember what it was. Must not be important. But anyways, so we're at this network marketing event and everybody is like putting goals on their board of making $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month. What do I put on here? 2 million. I put 2 million on my board. They're all looking at me like, what? And then I put in here, you will be the first multi-millionaire in your family. So see, I was actually even thinking past the million now that I'm looking at this, right? And I have like, this house looks just like my house I live in now. This hot tub, we got that hot tub. This is the laptop that I got. Look at this car. Like all of this I put on here was way above and beyond what anything, oh, I became more forgiving of my body. Oh, look at that. I manifest abundance by being grateful for what I already have. Me speaking on stage, I have a microphone. Wow. Right? So all of this was all ideas in my mind that I put onto a vision board. But the whole point of that is that I was thinking way above and beyond what anybody else was thinking. So the average person at that event was thinking 10,000 and I'm thinking a million. I'm thinking 2 million, right? So you have to be okay with thinking outside of what everybody else is thinking. You have to be okay that your words are going to be a little more elevated. You know, I sat at a mastermind once I'll never forget at, what's the name of that hotel in Cambridge? Langdon Hall. So we're sitting there at Langdon Hall, we're masterminding, it's a bunch of other coaches in the industry, Bob Proctor coaches. And they wanted to share our goals. Okay, so what's our goals for the year, for the next year? And everybody was saying like 100,000 a month. They want to make $100,000 a month in their business. And I'm sitting there and it got to me and I went, oh God, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? What am I going to say here? Because I'm not thinking 100,000. Are you kidding? I'm thinking a million. So they come around, it gets to me and all of them have said 100,000. And I said, oh, my goal is $1 million a month. And they all just kind of looked at me and kind of went silent. And I was just like, yeah. And I just sat there in it. And my dear friend Danielle, she says to me afterwards, she goes, Kathleen, that was so brave. That was so brave of you. Because the average person would have changed their number to fit in with the crowd. The average person probably would have said 100,000 or 250 just to kind of fit in there. She's like, but I thought it was so brave and courageous of you to say what you really desire, what you really want, and what you really believe in front of everybody else and to be outside that box. So for me, I was like, yep. I was like, you know what? You're right. That was brave because I thought it. I thought about saying lower. I thought about lowering myself to fit in to everybody else. But we are not doing that, are we? If you want to be the first millionaire in your family, you want to be the first multi-millionaire in your family, you have to think outside of what your family thinks. Because what your family has thought and what they are teaching you has created your life that you have today. You have to be thinking different from those around you. So once you get into this work, you start studying, you're going to be like, oh gosh, like everybody else is negative or they're in lack and limitation. And I'm like, okay, good. That tells me you're elevating. That tells me you're ascending. And you'll take everybody with you. Don't worry. But you're going to be the one that's going to make the change. Every rags to riches story that you have ever heard in your life, every rags to riches story has been somebody that said they no longer believed in the life that they were raised into. And they believed in a different life. Okay? I'll never forget, I was sitting there with Jason Derulo and I was interviewing him for my podcast. And he was talking about his life every day. And he was talking about how all of the kids that he went to school with were all out playing things like basketball. And he was at home practicing singing because he knew he was going to be a pop star, world famous pop star. And so he had to be at home practicing. And then even his mom said to him, Jason, you got to go clean your room. And you know what he says? No, Mom, I don't need to know how to clean my room. I'll have somebody cleaning it for me as I get older. And so she was probably like, what? But guess what? Do you think he cleans his room? No. He has a whole cleaning crew that comes in after he goes out, they come in and they clean his whole entire house. It's phenomenal. Why wouldn't we want that? Why wouldn't we want to experience that, right? It's available to us. So, but the key is that when Jason was living a life that told him that he'll never be what he wants to be, he chose to believe in it anyways. And like, do you think that like every person in the whole entire world is going to become a world famous pop star? No. The music industry is one of the hardest industries out there, as they would say, right? But he chose not to believe that. And even when he first moved to LA, he couldn't get anybody to help him create his own music. So he started to be a songwriter. And so then they started to hire him as a songwriter. And so even when he was being told, no, you're just a songwriter, he's like, no, I'm not going to believe that. I'm going to believe in something outside of what everybody else believes for me. So that's what I mean by when you jump on a new frequency of vibration, it is going to be outside of how it feels to be you today. It's going to be outside of what everybody else around you thinks. And that's why we become a beautiful vessel to support you, because we're already on that higher frequency, right? So listening to Cindy and I today are operating on a different frequency of vibration, right? And so because we're on that different frequency of vibration, we're giving you clues. We're telling you the type of thoughts we have every day. She told you she doesn't worry. She told you that. There is no worry on the frequency of vibration that she's on. I don't worry either. I don't worry about a thing. Doubt, is that on the frequency? Is doubt on the frequency that I'm operating on, that Cindy's operating on, that Jason Derulo's operating on? No, doubt is not on there. What about fear? What did Cindy say? She noticed her fear, it came, and what did she do? She worked through it and removed it. So it was out of her frequency. It was out of her vibration. She moved it through. So it's not to say that these things are gone forever, but when they do come up, we're aware and we say, no, that's not who I am. And then it becomes natural to live in faith instead of fear. It becomes natural to live in the knowing and the certainty that it's done instead of trying to hope that it's done, right? It becomes natural to take risks, to be bold, to be daring. Decision making, this is huge, okay? Huge, huge, huge. Most people do not make their own decisions. Most people look to other people to decide for them. What is that about? So let's think about embodiment. Let's think about identity. Let's think about that frequency. So if I'm on the $83,300 a month frequency of vibration every single month, and I'm operating on a level like that, I'm running a business like that, or I'm getting paid that much from my employer, let's say, right? If I'm operating on that level, what kind of decisions am I making? You're making them. You're making them yourself, you're trusting them, and you're making them quickly, and you're not changing your mind quickly, right? So to make a decision, then change your mind the next day, you're in indecision. You didn't make a decision at all. So to make a decision and to fulfill the decision, that is on the frequency, right? So to take a look at yourself and to ask yourself, what is it like for me when it comes to that decision making in my life? How many times do I ask friends for advice? And what happens when you ask a friend for advice that doesn't have your dream? So you have a dream of being a millionaire, and you go ask your friend who doesn't think it's possible for themselves what they would do in this situation. What answer are they going to give you? They're going to give you the answer that is going to not make you a millionaire. So go ask a millionaire or a multimillionaire what you should do. If you're going to ask anybody for advice, ask someone that has what you have. Ask someone that is willing to give you an answer from the truth of what they've experienced in their life, not from someone that does not have what you have. I remember when I first went into network marketing, it was so funny because I was like, oh, I would love to do that. I would love to own my own business. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm going to sell some products. I think it was like Avon the first time. I did it for like a week. And I remember going to my husband at the time and to my sister and being like, you know what? I think I'm going to start an Avon business. And I was very driven. I was very motivated. I wanted to do more. I wanted to make more money. I wanted to be better. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And both of them were like, oh, it feels like a lot of work, or all that pyramid schemes. Right. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. So I like started it and like never did anything with it. But then when I really got into it and was like, no, like I'm going to do this. I don't really care what all of you are saying. I'm going to be different. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be daring. That's where it all changed for me. That's where the magic started to happen. That's where this woman was born from. The ability to make a decision for myself, by myself. So oftentimes what I'll get you to do too is go out for dinner and decide that you're going to have for dinner what you want, not what's on sale. Okay? So my mom, we go to dinner with her and she's like, what are the sales? What are the specials tonight? What's on sale? And it's like what she wants to eat is based on the cost of it, right? She's less like this now, of course, but that's how she used to be, right? My mom and dad both used to be like that. And so now it's like, I'm going to go to dinner and I'm going to decide to have what I feel like having tonight, no matter the cost. And then I even went further into that and I said, okay, well, if I really believe that I'm really wealthy and really important and really valuable, then I'm going to order a glass of champagne and it's going to be the most expensive glass of champagne on the menu, please. Because I'm worth the most expensive, right? The first time I bought caviar, wow, that was an experience because they don't put the price on the caviar menu. They don't say this much for caviar. It's just caviar and it says market price. And so you've got to make a decision to buy caviar without knowing how much that costs. I think it ended up being $500 or something for the little tin of caviar. It was phenomenal. But it's truly about allowing yourself to decide and make decisions without having to consult with someone else, to make that decision yourself, to make that decision quickly from intuition, okay? So intuition is your first thought. So intuition, it's like, would I love to be a millionaire? Yes, that's your intuition. It's telling you yes. Okay, do I have what it takes? Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, okay. Intuition, that's the real you, that's the truth. And then this other little thing comes in behind that says, oh, but you aren't further along enough. You don't know enough. You're too old. It's too late for you. You're 55. You're too late. And you're not good enough. You're not pretty enough. You don't know enough. Da 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 da. Oh, but what if you can't do it? What if you fail? What will people think? What if people judge you? Those are all fear-based thoughts, not intuitive. So this is where decision making becomes challenging because you're allowing your fear-based thoughts to impact your ability to make the decision. That's why people who make decisions quickly are more successful because they're listening to God's nudges and acting upon them. So the difference in time between when you get an intuitive hit and you act upon it determines your success. The more you wait, the longer you take, the more you talk yourself out of it, the more you let fear in. So to make a decision based on love and on what you want and to do it intuitively and quickly is so incredibly powerful. And so I don't question now. I got an intuitive hit last night to make that video and I messaged Brianna. I'm like, we got to make that video. Let's go. I was like, God just told me to make the video. And so I tell my human all the time, oh, God just said, because then I'm going to go through with it. Right? So I always call it out when I know that it's an intuitive experience. And this entire business, this entire career that I've had here now, this entire journey is because of my intuitive force, all of it. None of this is based off of like strategy and like somebody telling me exactly what I should do. I just follow the path laid out for me and I just act intuitively, which is so beautiful. So tomorrow, what I really want to go into for all of you is taking belief and embodying it with practice. Okay, with action. And I want you to take inspired action, spirit and action, in spirit and action. So this is why your state of being, that's what I was talking about with you all today, is your state of being, the frequency of vibration that you're operating on is really powerful and really important, but you must also take action. So I'm going to share with you tomorrow some of the things that I did to bring the millionaire identity, the millionaire version of me into the physical form. Photo shoots, manifesting cars, being friends with Bob Proctor, manifesting this house, going to Louis Vuitton, purchasing my first bag, like all of the things that I did to call in the millionaire identity. Even the way that I did my nails was with this identity in mind. So this is something that you're going to desire, you're going to intend to be, and then you are going to embody it. You're going to embody the feeling of $1 million. I feel like $1 million. That's what I want you to be walking in every single day and taking action from that feeling. Make sense? I can't read the chat, but I can see your nodding faces, so I'm so grateful. So what we are going to do now, we're going to listen to a beautiful song. And this song is actually a song that I would listen to in 2020. And this song allowed me to be okay with being different. to be okay with taking back my life, being okay with the feeling of flying, right? So I have wings within myself and I can fly away from the experience that I'm experiencing right now and fly to a new one at any time using my software and what I know. So this song is called Fly Away, I think, by Tones and I. So we're going to listen to that song together. And Jen, maybe you can spotlight some people for me as we listen to this song. That's what I usually do, is I like spotlight people. So maybe you can do that. And let's feel the feeling of this song together. Allow the words to have a meaning for you. And then for the rest of the day today, I want you to think about what your millionaire identity is. How does it feel to feel your power? Not just happy and positive, but powerful. And what does it mean for you to be important enough to be a millionaire in this lifetime? Because that's where I want to get you to. Make sense? Okay. Sending you all love. See you tomorrow. Please be committed and be disciplined and be back here tomorrow, because this is where the action piece comes in. So some of you might want to avoid this because you're very good at taking in information and you avoid the embodiment piece. But the embodiment is where the magic and the miracles happen. So come on tomorrow. Let's do this. Let's grow and bring that million into your life. Okay, take it away, Jen.